Good day, class. Let's solve this German Olympiad mathematics question together. Now, question says solve x raised to power 3 minus 30 equals to minus x. Now, solution. Now, the first thing you are going to do here is you rearrange it. So we have x raised to power 3 minus 30. So this minus x, now you bring it in. You now give us plus x equals to 0. That's the first thing you are going to do. So when you now have it like this now, you will now bring s close to x raised to power 3. So we now have x cubed plus x minus 30 equals to 0. Now another thing you need to do there now is you need to think about this one now is in raised to power 3. Then this 30 you can, there is a way you can also rearrange it, rewrite it that you will have cube there. So and when you look at it, 3 times 3 raised to power 3 will give you 27. So which means you can get 27 from 30. It will now give us x raised to power 3 plus x minus open bracket 27 plus 3 equals to 0. So now when you look at it now, 27 plus 3 will give you 30. So we are saying the same thing. Now this 27 now, okay, let's open bracket first. We have x raised to power 3 plus x minus times 27 minus 27 minus times 3 minus 3 equals to 0. So then, having done that, the next thing you are going to do now is to rewrite this 27 now to be in 3 raised to power 3. So it will now give us x raised to power 3 plus x minus 3 raised to power of 3 minus 3 equals to 0. Because 3 raised to power 3 means 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 3, 27. So we are correct. Then the next thing you are now going to do now is you will now rearrange what you have. So x raised to power of 3 minus 3 raised to power 3 plus x minus 3. Everything equals to 0. So from there, when you look at what you have now, this x raised to power 3 minus 3 raised to power 3, they are together. Okay? So you will now apply, you know, when we have a minus b, okay? Okay, when you have a minus b into a minus b square. So this a minus b square now is going to give us a square plus ab plus b square. That's what this one will give us. So then it will now mean a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. Now, so that's this one now is telling us that now we are working with cube now. So you will now substitute it into x raised to power 3 minus 3 raised to power 3. So the first variable here, which is, so our a equals to x and b equals to what? 3. So that's what we will now substitute now. We will now substitute into this formula. So it will now give us x minus 3 into bracket. That's the first one. Then you do square 1, 2. We now have it to be x squared plus our a, which is x, and b is 3. So it will now give us 3x. Are we together now? 3x plus our b squared, that is 3 squared. Are we together? So now that's the cube now. Then plus x minus 3 equals to 0. Are we together now? So now with what we have now, x minus 3 into bracket. So what we have here now is going to be x squared plus 3x plus, now now we have 3 raised to power 2, which is 9. Are we together now? Okay, 9. So plus x minus 3. Everything equals to 0. Now when we now look at what we have now, we have x minus 3, x minus 3. So let's assume we'll now factorize, we bring out common factor there now. So now when we now bring out common factor, x minus 3 is common to both. So we now have our x minus 3 into, no, we can also put this one into bracket, x squared plus 3x plus 9. Then when you test for this one, it should now give you plus 1 equals to 0. So then we now have it to be x minus 3 into x squared plus 3x plus 10 equals to 0. So now we have a quadratic equation here now when you equate it to 0. So the first answer that we are going to get now, you know there are 2 brackets here. So you equate the first one into 0, you equate the second one into 0. So let's start with the first one. We have x minus 3 into bracket equals to 0. So when you remove the bracket, we have x minus 3 equals to 0. Isn't it? Then now you take 3 to the other side. We have x equals to 0 plus 3. So therefore x equals to 3. So that's the first answer. And because of raised to power 3, we are going to get 3 answers for it. So now let's now continue. So now we will now move to this our quadratic equation that says x squared plus 3x plus 10, everything equals to 0. Now when you have quadratic equation like this, there are so many ways or methods of solving it. If the question is factorizable, you can use factorization method. But if it's not factorizable, then you can use quadratic formula or completing the square method. Even you can solve it graphically. So now let's test now. For us to know whether the question is factorizable or not, you check. We have 10 here, we have 3x here. You will now think about all the factors of 10, that when you multiply the two together, it will give you 10, and when you add them together, it must also give you what? 3. Are we together now? So when you now look at it, 5 times 2 can easily give us 10. Okay? But when you look at it, we have plus 3. So 5 plus 2 will give us 7. So which means now 5 minus 2 will give us plus 3. And which means now we have to introduce minus. And we are not having minus here. So which means we cannot use that. So with that now, you say the question is not factorizable. So we now use quadratic method. So quadratic formula now says x equals to plus x equals to plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac everything over 2 plus equals to. So as we have it like this now, so that's the formula. We will now look for our variable. So we have a, b, and c. Now our a is x now. What's the coefficient of x squared? Equals to 1. Then our b, coefficient of x is 3. Our c, which is constant, is 10. So now we now substitute that into the formula. So we now have it to be x equals to our x equals plus or minus. minus b. So now we have b here to be 3. It will now be minus, okay, this our b is 3. It will now be minus 3 plus or minus square root of b square, which is 3 square, minus 4. Our a is 1. 4 times 1. Our c is 10 times 10. Everything over 2a. So everything over 2a, that is 2 times 1. Okay? So now with what we have now, we now have x equals to minus 3 plus or minus square root of, now 3 square now, which is 9. Then now 4 times 1, 4. Then times 10, which is 40. So we have minus 40 all over 2 times 1, 2. So from there now, we have our x to be equals to minus 3 plus or minus square root of, now 9 minus 40 is going to give us minus 31. Everything over 2. Now when you don't have it like this now, this minus square root of minus 31. So it means x equals to minus 3 plus or minus. So when you have minus like this, square root of minus 1 will give you I. So it's now going to be, okay, square root of minus 1 times